Hey guys, Gene's Toys here and welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the Heavy Armed Predator Wolf and the Alien Warrior, both made by SH Monster Arts. First up is the Heavy Armed Predator Wolf. On the front here you have a little window so that way you can see the figure inside the box. And at the bottom you have the labels from the companies as well as a design from the movie and the name of the movie it was based off of. On the side, you can see in purple lettering the name of the figure itself. On the left side of the box here, there is a picture of the figure. It's very detailed. Whether or not that applies to the figure also, we will find out. There's also a purple spatter pattern and another label of the figure. On the back of the box, there are multiple pictures of the figure featured in different stances, as well as details on the figure featured in 2 different languages. Featured on the bottom of the box is a warning which says choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3 years, as well as right to the left of that there's a caution recommending the toy to be used for ages 15 and up. And the top of the box just features yet again another label. Without further ado, let's go to opening the box. At the top here there's a piece of tape that you can easily cut with a sharp object. Kids, if you are doing this by yourself, make sure to have a parent watch you or do this for you when you open up the box. Sharp objects are very dangerous. If you just pull the flaps out and fold them, you can slide the plastic out. Once you pull the plastic out of the box, there is another layer of plastic on top that you can easily pop off. This is what holds the items inside the plastic in place. On the right side of the plastic, there's an assortment of hands that can be used to hold the items that come with the figure or to be used as simple design. The helmet is featured as an interchangeable head which can be used to be swapped out with the old head. Featured here is the holstered version of a shuriken, as well as a holstered version of the whip, which can be pegged into the waistline of the Predator to show that it is holstered. Featured here is a opened version of the Predator shuriken. It's very detailed and intricate in design. There's also a shoulder blaster which can be pegged into the shoulder and extends upward to be put into the firing position. Now the head movement is very limited. The horizontal movement is pretty good, however the vertical movement is extremely limited. The side of the mouth is very loose and falls out extremely easily. The detailing on the figure is very extensive, including the wrinkles on the skin all the way to the dense and combat wear of the armor that he wears. Featured with the figure is a modified shoulder blaster to serve as a pistol, 2 mouthpieces, 2 extended blades to replace the sheathed ones, and an extra vial of liquid. Now to replace the hands, all you have to do is pop out the old one, like so, and then just pop the new one back in its place. The movement of the hand isn't very extensive. The wrist doesn't move vertically at all, however horizontally it moves perfectly fine. There's a joint in the elbow and also a joint in the shoulder. The joints may be a bit sticky at first, but once you move it the first time and kind of break it in, it'll be fine. All the joints are featured on both sides, however the movability of the wrist on the right side I find is a bit easier. The legs feature a double joint system which allows the knee pad to stay in front of the knee at all times, as well as gives it extra maneuverability. The foot also features a double joint system, a joint in the ankle to move the foot and a joint in the center of the foot to move the toes. This allows you to place it on uneven surfaces. The torso movement rotates pretty well. It goes in a full 360-degree turn, however I'm only showing a 180 turn. To swap out the heads, all you have to do is simply pop off the old head, and this necklace here is also reliant on the heads being there, So do be careful not to drop that and lose it once you do. Then you just take the old head and pop it into place. The head was a little bit difficult to get on, however it should look like this once popped into place. Now behind the original plastic there's another one that all you have to do is take off the lid, just like you did with the original packaging. And inside is a fully extended whip, an extended spear, and a holstered spear. The holstered spear can be put onto the back via peg, and both are made with a hard plastic to prevent breakage. The whip is made out of a very elasticy, very soft plastic that allows it to bend without breaking. The Predator entirely is made out of a very hard plastic material that prevents it from breaking too easily, and because of the opposable arms, legs, and feet, it makes it very good to use as a design object.
Next up is the Alien Warrior. As you may have guessed, the boxes for this and the Predator Wolf are very similar. You've got your little viewing window, and you actually have a more alien-esque design on the front. What looks like the scaly exoskeleton kind of design that would be on the skin of the alien. You have all the same logos and all the same warning labels on the front, and pretty much everything is the same except for a lot of the images. There's details on the back still about the Alien Warrior, which we will show in 2 seconds, and there she is. A lot of the same details featured in 2 different languages again, and yeah, as you probably have just assumed, it's a lot of the same stuff that were on the Predator Wolf box. Okay, so on the back of the packaging here, there's this little plastic thing held on by tape, and if you actually take that off and you open up the flap, it becomes a little stand that you can use to post up the alien in different positions. Okay, so moving on to the actual figure itself, same thing as the Predator, you pop off this top layer of plastic, and then you've got your figure. And this one, like the Predator, is just a simple, you pull the figure out and you take a look. The knees have a single joint, and so does the majority of all the joints of the body. It's all pretty much single joints, except for the feet, I believe. And the detailing is very extensive. However, the movement on those joints, I think, are a bit limited because of the detailing put onto the figure. Those things on the shoulder kind of get in the way of the shoulder really moving any further than the point that I had moved them. The mouth is kind of weird and wonky. It kind of just falls out, but once you kind of get it out, it stays there unless you push it back in. Then you can move the jaw open and close to keep the mouth from coming out or whatever. So that's pretty cool. If you also look at the top of the head here, you have a slightly transparent little thing here. I'm not sure what to call it, but it reveals a little bit more of the skull within the alien's head. And I think it's pretty cool because it just adds a bit more detail and a bit more extensiveness to how detailed the figure actually is. Now, moving on to the tail. The tail is actually pretty cool because it's a series of joints all connected together. Obviously, if you move it too much, it'll pop apart. But what's cool about it is you won't have that elastic issue with going back into place and then having to work it to try to get it to stay in the position that you want. With this like ball joint system, it stays in the exact position that you put it in, and it flows very, very nicely, I will have to say. But as I did say, don't move it too much because it will pop apart. And then once you put it in, you can just put it there. Okay, so as you may have noticed there, a lot of the pieces kind of fell off when I went to go put it on. And that happened to me a couple times. The tail is very difficult to put on, and when you try to do it, a lot of the pieces fall apart and come off of it. and because of the way the pointy parts on the tail are, it kind of hurt my fingers trying to force it in. Some of the items that come with the alien are this little plastic egg sac that normally would hold a face hugger, but it's just a solid piece of plastic, and a little chest burster, which I think is kind of cool that they have. It also comes with 4 extra hands, 2 for each side, and you can have either open hands or closed hands in like a clawing motion. Okay, so my final thoughts on the Alien Warrior are that the detailing is very extensive. It's definitely not lacking in that department. The posability of the figure is not as great as I had hoped. The movement feels kind of limited because of the detailing that they put on it, but otherwise it's a great display item because once you get it into a decent position, it just looks great. That tail though was a little bit hard to get on. Like I said, it took me a good 10 minutes to actually be able to get it in, but otherwise it's really great for display and I really like it. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and I know it's been a while since our last video, but that's going to be changing soon. If you go ahead and go to jeanstoys.com, we sell a lot of toys now. We sell Aliens, Twilight Zone, Carrera slot cars, Star Wars, and even more stuff. If you guys just want to stop by there will be a link in the description below. You can buy a lot of toys from there. And also, if you're in the mood for any gaming videos and such, you can stop by my personal channel, Reckless Slayer, and I make gaming videos of all kinds. So thanks for watching guys, and be sure to tune in next time for another toy review.